Breaking news tonight, a massive leak from the United States Supreme Court. A leaked initial draft of its majority opinion obtained by Politico says the court is set to overturn the landmark Roe v. Wade decision on abortion. And that is late breaking news here this evening as we come on the air. Good evening and welcome to Evening Debrief, everyone. You're watching Newsy live from Atlanta. I'm Natalie Allen. Newsy has not been able to independently confirm the decision at this time. The court has not responded to our request for comment, but it is possible the decision could change by the time the court releases the full opinion because drafts don't necessarily reflect the final will of the court. We do know this, a number of people have gathered this evening outside the Supreme Court as this story unfolded. The barricades that you can see along the steps were put out just after this news broke. So let's talk about it now. I want to bring in Dr. Laura McNiel. She's the legal lecturer at Columbia University as well as professor of law at the University of Louisville. Thank you so much for joining us on short notice, Dr. McNiel. First up here, what is your reaction to the news of this leak?
I have to be honest with you, I am completely shocked. We know that this has never happened. The Supreme Court, at least not to my knowledge, have you ever seen a potential draft of an opinion leaked before the actual opinion is actually given to the public? And so this has really alarming implications. This is unheard of, it's unacceptable, and you can see the type of ripple effect it's having.
Yeah, absolutely. The question is and will be, how could a leak of this magnitude of the future of Roe v. Wade occur? And what could this mean to the integrity of the Supreme Court?
You know, the timing couldn't be any worse. There has been a lot of public criticism, to be quite frank, and questions on whether or not the Supreme Court's integrity has been compromised. We know that one of the justices, Justice Clarence Thomas, has been under a lot of scrutiny because of his wife's political activism. And now you have potentially someone on the inside. Typically, that's going to be a clerk, someone who works for the Supreme Court that has access to the drafts of these types of opinions, has released them allegedly to the public. We're hearing, again, not confirmed. But if this is true, what this does is it undermines the public's confidence in the Supreme Court at a time when they really, more than ever, are under so much scrutiny.
Right. And we do know from interviews with Americans taken that the integrity of the Supreme Court for many people relies on the belief that they are not political, that they are above the fray when it comes to that. But I want to ask you, the release of this reported 98-page document, as we said, is unprecedented in modern times. In the court's modern history, early drafts of opinions have never leaked before the final decision is announced, and early drafts of opinions often change by the time the decision from the court is announced. So do you think there will be an investigation into how this document got out, and what legal ramifications might we see?
Absolutely, there will be an investigation, an internal investigation, and hopefully an outside investigation as well. And the reason why is because once you lose the public's confidence in the highest court, our Supreme Court, really, where do you go from there? And so it's important that we find out, again, this is all allegedly, but if it is reportedly true, we find out that it's verified and confirmed, the individual that leaked this to the public, to the media, has to be held accountable. Now, in terms of legal ramifications, most likely they haven't essentially broken the law, but they have done something that is definitely a breach of their employment obligations to the Supreme Court. They should be terminated immediately. And more important, this is a wake-up call for the Supreme Court to evaluate their current system in terms of how do they make sure these documents moving forward remain confidential and are not leaked to the press. And so this is going to be an opportunity for them to make sure that they reevaluate their own internal structures to make sure this never happens again.
More questions to be asked for sure. Certainly we have more questions and answers about this story reported by Politico this evening. We appreciate you coming on short notice to discuss this with us, Laura McNiel. We will hopefully talk with you again as we learn more. Thank you, Laura.